Hello everybody, my name is Josh and I'd like to welcome back to another episode of Coffee, Cats, and King, where we discuss books, both new and old. I'll share with you pictures of my cats will make you wish they were your cats, and I will drink enough coffee for me and everybody watching. Now the mug today is in no way Christmas or winter themed, but the sweater, sweater is very much a Josh sweater. I'm here today with my December TBR. Before we get into that, I'm going to give you folks a little cat footage. And we will go on and get into it. I have 3 audiobooks, 4 ebooks, and 8 physical books for a total of 15 picked out for the month. Hopefully that still gives me a little time at the end to read what I like. I try and save time for that as well, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to start with the audiobooks, the first of which is The Usual Santas. This this is to slowly get me into the holiday season. This is a collection of crime stories involving Santa, involving Christmas, and other elements such as that. And I did this because my first ebook and physical book for the month are not as Christmassy themed, so to speak. So this is me dipping my toes in the beginning, and this is just one that has a great cover and looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, the other 2 audiobooks that I have picked out are in no way winter or Christmas themed at all, so I'm not getting overloaded with the Christmas winter theme. So the next audiobook that I will get into is The Owl Men by S.E. England. And this is about a woman who has a nervous breakdown. Her and her husband decide that the best thing for her is a total change of scenery, so they purchase this old watermill to live in called Tanner's Dell. Tanner's Dell and the little town, little village around it, holds some secrets, some rather difficult to accept and dangerous secrets. Now, the wife has basically decided that she is tired of being a victim, so she decides that she's going to delve into witchcraft. And I don't know if it is because of the witchcraft that these owl men entities come about, or if they just happen to be haunting the town to begin with. I'm not sure. But the title caught my eye. And then I read the description. It sounded fantastic. This is not an author that I'm familiar with in any way. This was really just one that I knew as soon as I set eyes on it that I wanted to read it. I got the chance to listen to it, so I figured this would be a great little in-between, so that I have something that is not in any way related to the winter season. The final ebook that I plan to get to is It Came From the Closet. Now, this is another one that I've had my eye on for a while. This is an anthology in which queer and trans authors write essays, if you will, about famous horror movies that have inspired them, movies that made some sort of impact, or that in some way contributed to or changed their experience as a queer or trans author. So again, it's just one that caught my eye when I first heard about it, and I've wanted to pick it up since, just didn't have the chance. I got the chance now and figured that this would be a great time to do so, to kind of end out the year. So that covers my audiobooks. Ebooks, the first one that I plan to get into is Sergio Gomez's The Visitor. So The Visitor takes place on Christmas or Christmas Eve, I believe, where 5 strangers are trapped in a roadside diner due to a severe snowstorm. And the issue here is that there is a sixth visitor that shows up, and this visitor will ensure that the night is not just full of the pure white snow, but also plenty of blood red. So this is a relatively quick one. I think this is a novella length, if I'm not mistaken, and I thought that it would be nice to, again, help me to slowly dip my toes into the holiday season. After that, I go fully into the Christmas spirit with Brian Asman's Return of the Living Elves. This is about some gentlemen who work at a toy factory who, in looking for a gift for one of the girlfriends, accidentally unleash an experimental toy hybrid thing that happens to be like an elf slash zombie. Sounds ludicrous because it's meant to be ludicrous. This is just another quick one that I thought would be fun, something lighthearted, but also kind of gory before I get into some of the more serious stuff later in the month. And another somewhat humorous one, ebook number 3 is Ben Wolf with What the Frost. This is about Santa waking up one day and realizing that this awful disease has hit the toy factory. Elves are sick and dying of it. Reindeer are doing the same. And it is now up to him and an alcoholic elf to save Christmas, essentially. But along the way, there are zombies, there are exploding creatures for some reason, and there's just a lot of zaniness. Again, this is one that is very much on the humorous side, but also very adult. So I'm just going to see how it goes. And then the final ebook to round it out is Literally Dead, Tales of Holiday Hauntings. Now, last year I think it was, maybe the year before even, I read Literally Dead, Tales of Halloween Hauntings, which had one of my favorite covers of the year. This one is no different. This is just a fantastic cover, and I think just for the cover it immediately starts out at a higher rating. But we're going to see how this goes. This actually has some serious names involved in it as well, some big time authors, and again gets points for the cover just right off the bat. So as far as the physical books go, I'm really I have it set in a way that I'm very slowly moving my way towards Christmas and then out of Christmas. So let me show you what I mean here. The first book of December is Jack London's Stories of the North. This is simply to get me into the winter spirit, if you will. As it says, this is a collection of 9 Jack London stories. This is, I think, just going to be survival tales in the North. So very wintry weather based on the cover, and but much more on the winter side rather than Christmas. So just dipping my toes in there. Next up is a book that I used because it is in no way Christmas or winter themed whatsoever. It is, however, a book that I was in a way kind of gifted by Barnes & Noble because I was able to use my points to get this book for free. So this is Charles Ash with Hall of Mirrors. And this is one that I wanted as soon as I saw the cover. Very much, well, as it says, it's a retro thriller, very much supposed to be within the realm of, say, Christopher Pike or Carolyn B. Cooney. And this is about a boy named Danny who loses his twin brother. His father abandons the family, his mother is just lost in grief, and his best friend wants him to move on so that they can enjoy their senior year. It says, the only person that seems to understand his pain is the fortune teller at the local carnival, but her words haunt him. There is a darkness in you. More people will die. When one of Danny's schoolmates goes missing in the carnival's Hall of Mirrors, Danny begins to suspect that there's something more sinister behind the death of his brother. Something evil that calls out to him, beckons him to enter the Hall of Mirrors. This sounded fantastic. I love the cover. I love the 90s nostalgic feel of it. And again, I was able to use some of my built-up points from Barnes & Noble to get this for free. So there you go. I'm sold. It's like it's a Christmas present, right? Let's ignore the fact that I had to spend how much money to get those points, but whatever. Next up, again, is one that is not in any way Christmas themed. It is, however, another gift. It came from the author directly. This is B.L. Waters with Project Human. And this is the start of a new series for her. This is about a girl who is abducted by aliens, transported halfway across the galaxy, and discovers a universe teeming with intelligent life, including 12 alien species who have engineered human DNA to suit their needs. But not everyone wants Project Human to succeed. Caught in the crosshairs of a galactic tug-of-war, Olivia must unravel the mystery of her origins before she's silenced forever. So, didn't think you'd get any aliens on my winter TBR, but hey, this is possibly the second, because I think the visitor from Sergio Gomez might be aliens as well, I don't know. But yeah, so again, not in any way winter themed, but because this was gifted to me, I think it counts, and is another way to slowly work my way into the season. Now the next one, very much into the winter weather and more of a Christmassy theme. This is for a younger audience as well, and again is much more on the lighthearted side. This is one that looks like it'll be right up my alley, but I've never heard of it before. This is Chris Kurtz with The Adventures of a South Pole Pig. And I got this at Goodwill or something like that a while back. This is about Flora the pig, who decides that she's had enough farm life and is going to move to Antarctica to become a sled pig. She meets a host of zany characters along the way, including a bacon-loving cook who sees her much less as a friend and more as a meal. And yeah, very much I think in the realm of Babe or Wilbur, but sounded lighthearted and fun, and I love stories where the main character is a creature of non-human origin, so this I think is going to be a really enjoyable one, lighthearted before I get into some of the more serious stuff. At that point I think we'll be edging towards Christmas more, so I'm getting into the actual Christmas stuff and into horror. So this first one is Claudette Melanson with The 12 Terrors of Christmas. These are all Christmas horror stories from her. I think that there may be crossover characters with a sort of overarching plot, if you will, but that they can also be read on their own. So again, very simple. It's not overly lengthy. It's about 300 pages, but I'm really excited for this one. I've had my eye on it for a while, and this will be my first foray into Miss Claudette Melanson's work as well, and it just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, another one that I have heard a lot about and really wanted to read. I was able to pick this up actually. I actually picked it up back in September when Barnes & Noble did a bunch of buy one get one half off on some horror books, and for some reason this was part of it even though it was September. But this is Andrew Schaefer with Secret Santa, and this is about a woman who starts a job at a new company, and they immediately start playing all these awful, horrible pranks on her. She's really hating it. She thinks it's way over the top. And it kind of comes to a head when the company does their Secret Santa, where she receives, as it says, a strange gift that she recognizes but doesn't understand. Suddenly, her co-workers begin falling victim to a series of horrific accidents, and she suspects her gift is involved. I love the cover. I have heard that this is not the best, but I was too intrigued. Thought I might as well pick it up. Again, I got it for half off, so it was like $8 or something, and we're just going to see how it goes. Now, the one after that is the book that Paige and I will both be reading during the month of December. This is one that we've had for a while that I want to jump into immediately, but she said, no, we need to wait until winter, so we waited until winter. This is Darcy Coates with Voices in the Snow. Now, this is part of a series from her. I've heard really good things about this book. I've heard that it is much lighter on the horror, which was a positive for Paige, and also that there is a romance aspect, which again is another positive for her. So I thought that this would be a good one for us both to jump into together, and for her to kind of slowly dip her toes into Darcy Coates as well. So I'm curious to see where this one goes. And it'll be kind of interesting because if we both enjoy it, then we now have a series actually to get into, which could be kind of interesting. So looking forward to that. And then to finish off the month, this is one that has a title that would make you think that it is Christmas themed, but it is not. But this, I think, will kind of end out the Christmas season and move us just into January and the new year. This is Rod Serling with The Season to Be Wary. And this is just a collection of, I believe, three short stories from Rod Serling. You just can't go wrong with Rod. And yeah, enough said. That is going to end out my December TBR. Said I tried to get a nice mix in here of some things. Didn't just make it Christmas themed, although it's hard not to do considering, but I'm really pleased with this actually. And yeah, we're just going to see how it goes. I do have some backup if I happen to knock all these out before the end of the year. And the other exciting thing is if I finish all these books, I will have surpassed 250 books. That will be the most that I've read in a year since keeping up with it on Goodreads anyway. So fingers crossed. We'll see how that pans out. But that's it, guys. Let me know what you think below. Tell me what you are reading for December and for the end of the year. And I will be back with you again soon. So stay safe, drink great coffee, stay warm. Cheers, everybody.